My long-awaited book, Astrology Realized, is finally available and waiting for you at Amazon and other online retailers. Get one for you, your loved one, or as a gift, all part of your fabulous journey to understanding astrology. Enjoy. Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of September 8th, 2013. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This week, a bunch of planets are making moves, changing signs, or having very important conversations. Mercury will move into the sign of Libra early this week. Now, wherever Mercury goes, our minds are highlighted, our perceptions change, and we are asked to actually share, sometimes very spontaneously, to bring about the lessons of the sign that he's in and to share in the manner in which the sign is represented. So it's like he's wearing a coat, and that's what the sign represents. It's the way that he's expressing himself collectively for all of us now, that is colored by the characteristics of Libra, which have to do with balance, of course, but also have to do with one-on-one exchanges, one-on-one communications, considering other points of view and finding a place within that, finding a place within all the considerations where you feel that you are clear. So that's going to be a big lesson for all of us. But we also have, right around the same time as Mars, making a very important conversation with the planet Saturn. So this is a heavy-duty planet. This tends to be a heavy-duty conversation, and it makes very clear to us what actions we can take and what maybe we're a little bit limited on right now. And so these two together are going to allow us to consider other perspectives. And as we do that, while there may be things that we wish we could do, but we realize that we can't, not just yet, by considering other perspectives, we do get a more balanced understanding of where we are and how maybe even the stuff that seems like it's holding us back is actually working to our advantage. A little bit later the week, what we have is Venus entering the sign of Scorpio and right away speaking very kindly with power player Neptune. And so this will make for a very romantic overall feel, especially the later we get into the week. And I find this particularly inspiring. Of course, if you're a poet or a musician, and really at heart, most of us are, it's part of what it means to be human. And so you're going to find this a very enjoyable vibration if you're an artist or a musician or a poet or anybody who likes to tap into source in order to channel, in order to create. But all of us are going to be feeling like we have faith in love, that we can believe in love. Now, wherever Venus goes, it tends to represent where it is that we are asked to allow ourselves to receive, to believe that we are worth receiving love, receiving good things. So sometimes, yes, that does have to do with pleasure and finances and all that stuff. But a lot of times, yeah, it just comes down to love, allowing other people to care for you and to express that and to allow yourself to accept that gift when it is on offer. And so when Venus moves into the sign of Scorpio, we start to examine the motives behind what it is that is on offer. We start to consider why it is that people feel the way that they do and if it's really genuine, because we really want to get to the truth of the motivations behind all that loving feeling that is out there. So there's a balance to be struck there as well. And it looks like because of Neptune indicating very strongly that we do have that belief in love and we so want to be swept away, all of us do in our own way, that we are very likely to see things very kindly, maybe sometimes where they're not always due to be seen very kindly, but with that Scorpio energy there, look, we want to be cared for and we want to feel the feeling of adoration, and we're willing to give it in return. So if there are any tendencies that feel like they're going a little bit overboard, just ride the wave and just enjoy it, because this is one of those very unique natural highs that is part of being a human being. And finally, towards the end of the week, Mars will reach out to Uranus in a very harmonious conversation, indicating very lovely surprises. Now, it is Uranus, so no matter how well you plan things, things do have a surprise element, but thanks to this energy, this vibration, whatever actions we take, they have a lot of cosmic support for going much better than anticipated. But also, this goes back to Venus, right? Just being receptive, being open to love, because it does look like there's such a romantic vibe in the air right now that, especially if your surprises are of the romantic variety, of the gift-giving variety, or just of the giving in kind variety, if your inclinations go that way, chances are any actions you take are going to go much better off than planned. And also, if someone else tries to surprise you, you're going to enjoy that and just be delighted by what the universe has on offer. You know, I love to say life, there are too few surprises in life. I wish, people say that surprises are all over the place, but really I think that we can get so into a sort of a monotone, sort of a regular beat of life. And it's so nice when life does give us these opportunities to just be delighted out of nowhere. So let that inspiration come when it wants to. How this all speaks to you in your sign is coming up right now. Aries, your ruling planet is getting that support from Saturn first, which might seem a little bit difficult, but very quickly you are going to see the advantage with Mars speaking so kindly with Uranus. I do think that any frustrations that might be there early in the week where you might feel like you're being held back a little bit, might feel a little bit limited, don't worry about that. I do see that towards the middle of the week, thanks to Venus, some really good financial news does find you, or at least there's hope. This is Neptune, after all, that's speaking with Venus. Not always great for manifesting. However, if you believe and you carry that faith, I do think you're going to find a very effective course of action to take, and you're going to understand those frustrations that take place early in the week and how they actually serve the really big breakthrough that comes towards the end of the week. For Taurus, Venus is your ruling planet, and wherever Venus goes, it speaks very personally to you. She is your representative in the sky, and Venus speaking to Neptune gives you a lot of inspiration now, a lot of ideas now as well as to where it is that you want to go, what it is that you desire to do. This is a really great time for you to be connecting with friends or to be spending friendly times with partners. Venus moving into the part of the sky that has to do with partnerships is going to bring an element of love. So if you are attached, you're going to find yourself really feeling very adored, or at least feeling very in a renewed adoration with your partner. And if you are one of those Taurians who is not currently attached, well, there's just going to be a belief in love. And absolutely, why shouldn't you believe in love? This week will give you plenty of reason to. For Geminis out there, your ruling planet is Mercury. Mercury moving into the sign of Libra. This is really harmonious for you. And this speaks to you just being ready for some fun already. You wanting to feel lighter, clearer. Yes, there's an element of spontaneity here, but more than that, it does look like, I think that you are going to be making plans with people as well. And there just seems to be a heightened curiosity within you, but it's not a curiosity that necessarily yet has any practical function, and that's really okay. Just go along for the ride, because it is your curiosity that's going to open the door to a lot of joy, and that in turn is going to allow you to tap into some of the other energies that are out there that will support more practical gains. For Cancers out there, Cancer, you've got Venus in a very supportive sign for you. You've got Neptune in a really supportive sign for you. And slowly but surely, Venus is going to move eventually, a little bit later on, not this week. It won't be exact this week. But eventually, Venus is slowly stepping into an exact conversation with Jupiter in your sign. This just gives you a lot of hope and inspiration all around. There's joy with you, yes, but more than just joy, what I am seeing is that a new vision is opening up and possibilities are opening up. And for those of you who might have felt a little bit of frustration in life, no matter what area of life it might have felt that, you're going to find solace in love, or at the very least in your belief in love. And I am seeing some very nice, very flirtatious moments as well. So if you are in a connection right now, it's about to get injected with some new life that just delights you to no end. And for those of you who are not, you're about to get your flirt on. So enjoy it. And it's going to be reciprocated very nicely. And you're going to find yourself drawing forth a charm that you had possibly long forgotten was there. For Leos out there, right now Mars is moving through your sign, and Mars speaking to Saturn, speaking to Uranus. This is very personal for you as well. I think what's especially hopeful, and what I think is going to be the dominant energy for you, is that trine, is that very harmonious conversation between Mars and Uranus that takes place towards the end of the week. And so that's what you're building towards. Again, Mars speaking with Saturn can indicate some frustrations, wishing you could take action but feeling limited that you can't. But I really don't see this as a very big problem, because What I'm seeing more than anything is this is a personal process, and this is you sort of facing where maybe you hold yourself back and where maybe you can give yourself a little bit of a break. And that in turn is going to allow you to take inspired action, to actually take some forward momentum. Because what's happening later on at the end of the week with Uranus, that conversation is very outward, whereas the conversation between Saturn and Mars, not so outward. It seems to be very much more personal. And so it does look like whatever feelings you're having, they're just feelings, they will pass, and you'll understand how to channel that towards action. And I think you're going to find a really lovely breakthrough that opens up a lot of possibilities for you. And this is very practical possibilities. It's like you're being set up very nicely for more financial gains and career gains that are going to take place a little bit later on, a couple weeks down the road. And so for now, just allow the process to be about connecting with people, about considering other options, because very soon you're going to find it just builds and creates greater and greater positive momentum. For the Virgos out there, Virgos, your ruling planet is also Mercury. And again, wherever Mercury goes, wherever your ruling planet goes, it does tend to speak to you. But because of the wisdom of the ancients, the way that Mercury manifests is a little bit different than it would in another sign. And for you, Virgos, Mercury tends to manifest in its much more contemplative state. Mercury is moving into the area of the sky that has to do with finances for you. And what I'm seeing is you're having a lot of conversations with other people, in some cases one-on-one meetings where you're talking about what you can do to help yourself financially. And this isn't just you trying to get a one-off sort of big check of support or something. This is about you thinking bigger picture. This is about you thinking, what is it that I need to do to get that pay raise or to have a regular paycheck coming in, so that you feel a sense of security, so that you feel that there's something reliable and steady that continues to come in on a regular basis. And that is going to be a big topic of interest for you. Now, it might look, at the beginning of the week, it might look like the chances of you actually getting something are a little bit up in the air. You may wish that you could get something a little bit more stable or secure. However, just wait it out, because what I am seeing is there's lots of really positive things happening behind the scenes, largely without your knowledge, and just trust that. That momentum is there, and not only that, but that support and that goodwill is there already, and that will continue building for you, and you will see those payoffs, and you will get some very good news in terms of the good things that people are saying about you once we get you towards the end of the week. But for now, have faith, have conversations, connect to other people, and consider all the other options and the things that you could do to help yourself financially. For Libras, Mercury moving into your sign makes you especially brilliant now. You are already an air sign, so this is going to be a very welcome development for you. And what I am seeing is that you are asked to think about yourself in new ways, to think about your life in new ways and possibilities in new ways as well. But what I'm also seeing is that you're having a lot of belief and a lot of faith and a lot of hope in what could be financially, and it just seems that there are all these inspirations that are finding you, which is great. Continue to nurture the inspirations. It might not necessarily be a time for you to take some big action, but it is a really great time for you to dream, and it is an especially great time for you to brainstorm, because I do think that over the course of the coming 3 weeks, you are going to conceptualize a plan that's very well thought out, that could lead you to greater and greater prosperity for quite a few months to come. And so this is the time to value that space in which you are thinking of what could be and what possibilities could be. For others of you, you actually are going to find yourself with the opportunity, the possibility of actually taking a more artistic or creative, whether it's a talent or whether it's an interest, and taking that and making that into something that you can actually make money with. For Scorpios, Venus is in your sign. This is big, this is huge, and this just makes you feel very beautiful, feel very attractive, and certainly you are. This raises your charm right up. So no matter what else is happening this week, yes, it's never an even climate. It's never all positive. Thankfully, we need both of that. We need the tension and the harmony to grow in a positive direction. But for you, I think you're going to really take it in a very nice stride. Venus is in your sign. It's a great time for you to consider makeovers and things like that, especially with support from Neptune. Anything you could do that is associated with glamour is especially blessed. Anything you can do to like work with the illusion. And so whether it's like little tricks with your clothing to look a certain way, or whether it's tricks with makeup, whatever it is that you can do to tap into an image that you would like to put out there, that's only going to be helpful to you. But more than that, I think, just the charm factor is through the roof. And so talk to people, engage people, feel people out, allow people to be in your presence. And you're going to find yourself being especially effective, and there's almost a magical quality with you now. That's the Neptune, where people will see whatever it is that you desire them to see. So put good vibrations out there so that you can attract even better. For Sagittarius out there, with Mars and such support, with Uranus and such support, again, yes, I am seeing some sort of restlessness, especially in the early part of the week. You can't necessarily put your finger on, and yet there's hope, and yet there's possibility, and yet there's an understanding that all of this is leading to good things. And so whatever that unconscious feeling is, whatever that energetic feeling is, you can't put your finger on it. It's okay. Just put it to the side and just stay focused on what's in front of you to do. Because what I am seeing is that there are actually a lot of possibilities, a lot of possibilities. And what I'm also seeing is that you're gearing up for some really big career advancements. Now that's going to take place about a month down the road. And so right now is a very important time for you to be making not just connections, but more than that, what I'm seeing is this is a very important time for you to be considering new ways in which you can take whatever it is that you find most fulfilling, and how you can actually make that into something that eventually could lead you to career progress. And it does look like big changes are going to be coming up where it comes to your career, as I said, a little bit further down the road. So now is the time for you to be nurturing those dreams, those desires. But also what I am seeing is that, with a Sag, if you don't have an adventure, gosh, it's really not good for your spirit. It's really not good for your soul. And what I am seeing is that there is some adventure calling you, something that you want to do, and you've got to honor that. You've got to figure out a way to do it. It's early in the week where you feel like, I got to figure out a way to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And that's okay. Maybe relax some of the frustration a little bit, because the way forward to a life that feels much more fulfilling and much more joyful and spontaneous and filled with enthusiasm, it is going to reveal itself to you slowly but surely as you progress through the week. For Capricorns, this week with your ruling planet Saturn getting that jolt from Mars early on, I think there might be a feeling that a lot has to happen and you have to make it happen now, and the whole world is on your shoulders, when it really is not. And it may feel like it's always going to feel like this. It's always going to feel frustrating and difficult and sort of like all the world is resting on your shoulders, but it really isn't, I promise you. In fact, what I am seeing is that yes, there is a bit of a hurdle to get through over the beginning of the week, but once you do that, I think you're going to find yourself, especially once we get you later and later into the week. For one, I am seeing a very romantic moment sort of just visit you quite by delight. And this is a moment that is largely thanks to a friend who helps facilitate a very romantic, very beautiful moment for you that fills you with a gushy sort of love. And then that in turn changes your energy enough for you to see what amazing progress you are making, because you really are. And so whatever feelings are there, just trust them, relax with them, because they are very quickly going to change, and you're going to find that there's a lot of fun on offer this week. You're going to find that there's a lot of beauty on offer as well. And the people that you attract now, they tend to be touched with something that's hard to put your finger on, right? Whether they are creative types, inspired types, spiritual types, artistic types. There is almost a magical quality to them. And that in turn makes you aware of just how blessed you are and the magic that is in your life as well, because there is plenty of it, and people will make you aware of that this week. For Aquarians, with Mars moving through the part of the sky that has to do with partnership for you and having all these different conversations, it does suggest to me as I look at this that yes, you've got that Venus there that's supporting your career endeavors, which is fine, right? So you've got that feeling of hope and faith in where it is that you want to go on a career level. But it is partnerships and it is love that seems to be getting a lot of your attention, and that seems to be asking you to make changes and to have reality checks with yourself, that in the beginning of the week might not always feel easy. With Mercury in such a supportive position for you, it does look like other people are there for you to talk all these issues through and to consider other perspectives. And it does look like other people are helping to make you brave as well and are helping you to see the bigger picture. And again, it's largely one-on-one interactions that you're having that help facilitate this process of seeing the bigger picture, especially where it comes to love and relationships. But whatever frustrations, whatever questions, whatever uncertainties find themselves there for you where it comes to love early in the week, know that they're going to give way to some really amazing surprises in love that happen a little bit later on. So those of you who are attached, if you find yourself having a little bit of a disagreement with a partner, just ride it out. Remember to be kind and gentle to each other, and you're going to find that the resolution happens very quickly and delightfully to both of you. And those of you who maybe are not attached right now, you are going to find that love is very much in your focus and in your interest. And if there's somebody who has had your attention, maybe you'll get a little bit of news that tells you, I don't know if this is something I really want. But for all that, by the time we get you to the end of the week, it looks like you are just so delighted by the surprises that find you. Most likely someone new is going to enter the picture, but it's also possible that someone with whom maybe you had some sort of a previous connection with sort of shows up quite by surprise and delights you and helps you to remember why love is something that you definitely deserve to work on and something that you definitely deserve to believe in. And finally, Pisces, with Neptune moving through your sign in such a strong position, receiving that positive energy from Venus, I do think that no matter what shows up this week, no matter how anyone else is acting and flowing with all the different changes in the very changeable cosmic climate, I think that you are going to be in a state of bliss for much of the week because you are going to see that inspired hope. You're going to see that wisdom, and you're going to see the higher meaning to a lot of things that are transpiring. I also think that with Neptune getting the support from Venus, it's almost as if you are bringing forth something that is inspired and you are being asked to share that as well. So not only are you feeling that sense of bliss, but you're asked to share that with other people, and you're asked to find ways to take that bliss and actually make it something in which you bless other people with as well. But this doesn't just have to be a whole internal process for you, right? There can be a lot of other joy and a lot of other fun to be had. And for you, it does look like, on a practical level, yes, it does look like the workspace. There's a lot happening on a level of work and on a level of the work environments in which you're in. And it does look like you're really busy going about your day and going about your business. Sometimes it's really hectic. But again, I don't really see this as a problem. And the main reason I don't see it as a problem is because I think that you are just having so much faith. You just feel so good, and you feel like you're really plugged in very strongly. You're plugged into source, and it's just so delightful. You are an inspiration to all of us out there, especially this week. Those of you who are artistically inclined, which is something that a lot of Pisceans can be or tend to be, have it in there somewhere. This is a very strong week for you to bring out some absolutely brilliant work. And so do make sure that you take that time out to actually nurture your creative vision, your spiritual vision. Make sure you spend some time in meditation and allow some really inspired thoughts that are going to help you and a lot of other people. Let them come through you now. I will stop there. I know I went on a little bit, gave you an extended weekly horoscope. Thank you so much for watching. As always, for expanded horoscopes, so much more, check out my website, nadiyashah.com. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.